So there's the three majors. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at the mount position today, and this is the way that I like to set it up. I normally go reverse knee right, and I set this up to go to mount, but we'll just have a look at the mount specific scenarios today, and if we've got time I'll show you how I set up from the side control to go to mount, so everything's ready for me. So I'm just going to get Emma down here, head facing that way, and I'll be on mount. So one of the biggest issues that we have as far as the mount position goes is that the top position in BJJ is the back control, mainly because I'm on mount, but she doesn't have anything that she can attack me with because I'm behind her. So the second top position is the mount position. So I've got back mount to steer with one, and then mount. The downfall from here is that Emma has the ability to start to put her frames into place, trap my arms and bridge and roll me, move left and right, etc. So she has a lot more assets than what we do from the back. So what I want to do is I want to make her assets become her liabilities by simply moving into positions that I want to be in. I really want to get the arm up high, and I want to get my head underneath the tricep or the armpit, and it's not that easy because everyone's going to keep the frame in. The way I like to do is I like to set up my cross collar choke. So if Emma's hands are in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go chest side, so not neck side of the arm, chest side. This allows me to put my hand in nice and deep, and as Emma tries to defend it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hand and my leg as one. So I come up and I simply start to push. So to start with, I'm going to go really light because this is quite aggressive straight away. I'm just going to start to drive to get my first submission. So it's still a choke, but it's a really painful kind of choke. And what they're going to do is they're going to push me. I'm going to use that to move around the body. So slow motion. So I grab this, I'm going fingers in to the ground. So it's basically, if you have a look at my thumbs, made contact, it's all the way down to the ground, and I'm gripping it. So the way I'm gripping it is that my elbow's here, which allows her to start to grip it. I'm now using my leg, so I'm not just trying to use my hand. I put my leg behind it, and I'll push, and I'll put it behind my chest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to start to flare my knees and put my weight down. To start to get the first action, reaction. A lot of people are going to fight this, which is exactly what I want. The downfall is my chest is in the way, I need my head in the way. So I'm going to get Emma to do it to me now. So we're doing good jiu-jitsu, and I've got my hands in. So Emma can't get her hand into my collar because I'm going to keep parrying. Does that make sense? So instead she's going to grab that, and hand goes in nice and deep. As I trap it, this is the downfall like I explained. I'm just going to move just a little bit to the side. Is if you just use your arm to try and push, I'm going to fight you. But if you walk your leg behind, so your leg and your arm at the same time. So now, and all we're going to do is we're going to, I'll just move here. So all we're going to do is nice and high is we start to lay, but predominantly on this side, and it's kind of like a choke. So put your pressure all the way down, all the way down.
Did you go for a wrist lock as well?
Yeah, there's wrist locks, there's arm bars, like this sets up a whole variety, especially because when I start to defend it, I give you space to attack.
Sorry, those in, am I just punching the ground? Or
No, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the blade so that, see how you've got the flat of the arm? Mm-hmm. So what I want is, I want the blade coming in. You put your chest behind, so my elbow's not here, my elbow's on this side, and you're laying. So from here is all you do is keep laying, keep laying, keep laying, keep laying, and squeeze. So your hips have to drive forward into it, yeah. So you're kind of driving forward, and I'm going to block it. And like Emma said, there's a wrist lock here, there's an arm bar here, but today's focus is we're going to have a look at the head arm choke. So we're going to start this again. We're in the same position, so I'm doing good jiu-jitsu. We open up the collar, hand goes in, I TRG, trap real good. Mm-hmm. She puts her hand, palm, so we're pushing, go fingers down. Yeah, and put your leg behind it too. Nice, so from here. And so what Emma's going to do, she's going to try and squeeze, I'm fighting you. So Emma's going to walk ahead to this side, from here. And now she's going to back right out so my elbow pops. So slides down, got it, so my elbow pops. And again. So what we're doing is we're going to the same position, but we're sliding down so that my elbow pops over here.
So we're resetting.
Yeah, but we're not taking our weight off. So the whole time there's pressure on me.
Okay.
I'm not like moving. So it's one of those ones where I can't even bridge and roll, push your weights on me. So we start from here, you lift up. So when we do this is really lift this up so that clears my arms. So we've got a really good asset. I grab hold to bridge and roll, defend it, make sure it's the blade of the arm.
Do you want the blade by my thumb or the blade by my little finger?
Little finger. Yeah, yeah.
The other way I was holding.
Yeah, and see now you've got your weight across my body. So if I try and bridge and roll, your weight's across my body. Your fingers and your leg, and you walk high, I defend. So as I'm defending, you walk backwards, so keep your weight on me, slide and pop it. Got it, stay there. So my arm's on this side here and I'm defending. What Emma's going to do, her right hand, the hand that's behind me, is now going to come under. She's going to grab her left elbow. First. So it's like a Ezekiel head arm choke. It's a horrible choke. And of course you think about it this way. So the first one is, I'm trying to get space. I'm trying to push away, which gives her the ability to come under. Just simply hold. Now to finish this, because this is, don't come off me. Keep it. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is just trying to keep me flat. So put your, but your head stays here and try to get the blade on the blade. Awesome. So we're going to swap over in a second, so I'm just trying to get the first person to get the technique right, and then we'll swap over. So I'm doing good jiu-jitsu, she opens up the collar, boom, so see this, the hand comes in, I'm like, oh, no way. Cover. Now, fingers and leg. Fingers and leg. Boom, push from here. So now, this is choking, so I'm going to start to defend, so push it, so you go back, nice. And here, as I try and turn, hand comes under. Now, keep your head right. So even if you can't grab this, just,
Because then when I grab to my elbow, my wrist turns all the way, which means you don't have the blade.
No, this is a holding hand and this is a choke hand.
Okay,
so this is a hold hand. So that one, you only choke with the top hand. Okay. Let me explain. Okay, so can you put your right hand under my head? Right hand under my head? Okay, so if you try and lift my head up to choke me, it doesn't make sense, right? Because you're lifting that up. Well, if you put this hand on top and you push down, so this is only the hold hand. And this is a choke hand. So what this does is, I'm going to explain is, if I go all your weight out, and I go wicked bridge and roll, you simply go with it. I'm going to turn you this way. So we're here, with a good shot, so she's still got the Ezekiel choke. So the choke still stays on. So what we're doing is, it's more like we're doing preventive choking. So even if you get rolled over from the mount position, you've still got the Ezekiel choke on. Okay, punch you back, I'll go nice and light into you. So I'm in the mount position, and I'm going to go nice and slow. So she's doing good jiu-jitsu, her hands are nice and tight. I get the 2-on-1. The way I like to do this is, I like to rip it up, so the head comes up, my hand goes in, and I'll pin it. So she's going to fight me. As she fights me, I lift. Now I turn the corner. It's okay, baby, is that too soon? Too soon? I turn the corner, and all I'm doing is I'm putting my weight here. So I now use the blade, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the corner and lay. As she fights, I'm going to take my weight off. As she fights me, my hand comes under, let's grab my elbow. Slow squeeze, Ezekiel. If she rolls me over, I still have Ezekiel choke. Right? And because the hand that she needs to defend, see that hand's not going to do anything. So the hand she needs to defend, so as she tries to push away, across the toe choke. So the head arm series is, we're using the head arm to go to the Ezekiel choke. So that's option number 1. We're going to do this again, so it should be the second person doing it with me. I'm going to go through it again. Do you want to do it safe enough?
No, it was just when it's tight and
Do you want to do it to me? Just safe enough a little bit. So again, on the mount position, and I'm doing good jiu-jitsu. So I use the 2-on-1, so I'll go up with 2, Yeah, so that. So cross the belt. So I'm going to fight from here. And what you're going to do is, as you let go, keep that one deep, please. As you let go, I'll pull, which puts you in the perfect position to climb. Nice. So here, and your weight's predominantly on this side, guys, and you're laying on top of me. As I try and fight, you slide down and pop the elbow. So you have to slide. You can't move my elbow. Yep, slide. Excellent. So now, I'm going to turn you this way. So we're in that, like the head arm, so we now put our hand underneath. Beautiful. Grab the elbow. And now, all we're doing is your weight's into your right side. Beautiful. If I happen to trap and bridge, I want you to put your head on the ground as I bridge where it is. Yeah, because I can't bridge with my chin down. So I'm going to try and, as I bridge, yeah. So you can kind of prevent the choke as well by keeping your weight down on top of me. Excellent. One more time, so we're going to go to the same drill again. So geese in, so 2 on 1, lift it up, boom, pin the shoulder. So don't let go yet. So as I fight, we're moving to the side, trap the arm, look at that, perfect position. Okay, nice. Now, just slide down to my elbow, see my elbows, so slide, yes, that's it. So as I turn, so your weight's on your right side. Yes.
So almost like as if I wanted to grab
it,
and then I could even
100%.
if I was having trouble just getting the angle
Yeah,
right.
you could use the arm wrap and all that. Like I said, there's the arm wrap, there's the arm bar, there's the wrist lock, there's a jump to triangle. There's a whole variety of things from here. But we need to get this choke first, because what happens is the choke sets up the arm bars. Let me explain. So if we go to the same position where her left hand's under, and she uses her right hand to grab my wrist instead. So it comes up. So you've committed everything to the side, so you don't have any balance point on that side. So the reason why I don't tap the arm is the reason why I go to the elbow, so like this grip here, is from here is I'm going to try and break the grip. So as I break the grip, you simply put your head to the ground on your right side from here, and that pulls your bottom arm into choke position. So as I try and turn, just squeeze. So it's a really nice, effective. Do you understand that? Or not really? No? Okay, so push this. So come back here. So I'll just explain. So we're in the choke position from here. And like I said, if you try and grab this hand here, the downfall is you've given me all this space underneath my head to block and to move. So you grab your elbow. But where's your elbow? Where's your elbow? Where is that? Yes, on my chin.
Yeah.
So I try and get out by going like that. Where's your arm now?
Under your chin.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go here because this is putting the choke straight on me. So I'm not going to, like if you've got the Ezekiel choke, I'm not going to go here because you just start laying on me and got the choke. So I'm going to try and break the grip right here, so that pulls you into position. Just a side step. You now come up onto this foot, you pull this hand out and you hold your gi. So we're in perfect armbar position. So like I said, the chokes go to the arm bars. Yeah. So I wouldn't, if I moved and pushed down, I'm putting my arm at the 90 degrees, which is arm bar, instead of going to the Ezekiel choke or the head arm choke. Okay. Back to person number 1. We're going to go to the head arm choke setup now, guys. So, the way that I like to do this, it's done with a kind of a bit of a different grip, and I'm gonna go to a like a Kimura grip and reset my Kimura grip. So we're in the same position from here. So what I'm doing is, instead of pushing the wrist to get the Kimura, I'm pushing the elbow to get the Kimura. And once again, is if I just try and fight this, if her structure is good, it's hard. So what I do is I use my leg, I simply push this up, and I'll put my head here. So as she tries to rescue, she'll move and push me, which allows my hand to come around. And again. So one of my favourite chokes from the mount is my cross lapel choke is my favourite choke. My second favourite choke is my head arm choke. And I'll show you a couple of finishing moves on this. So instead of pushing the wrist, is I use my leg, I pick it up and I block it. So if she tries to fight me, it's against my hip. It's against my hip. And all I do is I'm guiding it. So does that kind of make sense? Is that okay, you shot?
Yeah.
So if she fights me, if I'm here, she can take her arm forward and pull out this and push away. But once I'm here, so I put my hand down, my head down, and I wait. So what people normally do is they try and push into me. As they're pushing me, that allows me to trap. And again.
Okay.
So we're here. So instead of lifting up the wrist, I lift up the arm, but I'm going to set the trap. 1, 2, force. So as she tries to push it backwards, 1, 2, she drives towards me, my hand comes in, and I just simply trap from here. Right? Nice and tight. What I'm doing is my arm can't be towards the elbow, or my head can't be towards the elbow, my head has to be down towards here and slow squeeze. So the choke comes on pretty much from there. Swap over top to bottom, please, guys. What's up, monkey? Right, it's okay, is it?
Neither do I, buddy.
So from here, what we're going to do is, no. So we're going to pick up the elbow.
Yeah.
So we go 1, use your leg, drive with your hand. 2, head goes down, other side, boom. So we're in the head arm choke position. You're going to wrap my shoulder, far shoulders. So as I try and turn, you wrap the far shoulder, trap. Now the downfall is you're choking through my elbow and my tricep. So put your ear on the ground under my armpit and think about it this way, is you're walking around my body. So don't just come up high. Okay, drive your back of your head in. Now just simply walk. If you get stuck, transfer to the side, the foot comes over. So we're still snatching the choke. We haven't cinched the choke up yet, but we're in such a strong position, it's really hard for me to defend this. And again, so the mount. So once again is we set the post, and that's the precursor, because that's going to wrap my head. We come under, and what we're doing is we're driving our knee and pushing. At the same time, we slide down low. Bop, bop, bop. I like to use my body as a frame behind that, so that Now cut the shoulder. Excellent. Head onto the ground, looking away. Now, if you find yourself onto my jaw like Emma is, back out a little bit, and now turn the corner.
Put my hand underneath the
Just hold the shoulder, palm up. Okay. But take this out. So see how there's a gap? Mm-hmm. So I want that just like, yes. So no space here, that's beautiful. So now take the foot over. And again. So the head arm choke is you can't have that little space in here. I need you to take it out. So this is called snatching the choke, or what I call snatching. So your hand from here, what I like to do is attack the elbow, but I like to put the wedge in against my body. Remember, we're pushing the arm across the body here and dropping down low. Okay, now we cinch it up, so snatch the choke, snatch, snatch, snatch. And we're driving this.
What if this is getting stuck?
So what you do is you start to drive your head towards me. But you've got to be careful, because I'm going to try and roll you over, right? So your head has to stay on the ground. Got it. Cool. Nice. Drive. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If you're on the jaw, slide down. Put your ear so you're looking away from me. Head on the ground. I'm fighting you. Disengage to side. Walk to north-south. Beautiful. One more time, guys.
You should.
Hey?
You should.
Yeah. You guys, okay, go whistle the camera.
I believe so, but I might move slightly down this
Yeah.
way. And again.
So the other way that we do this is, if I'm here and I'm attacking my partner, we're going to go post and push. So if I'm here, we're going to go boom, post and push. I'll swap over track one. So they're not going to just allow me to. So from here is, you think about it this way. One hand slightly higher than the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simply post and push. So if she tries to retract the arm, support him. Same deal, boom and frame. Push and reset. So once I'm here, comes under. And I don't like to go to my head arm straight away from me. I like to kind of drive in. So, okay, babe, is it too tight? So as my partner fights me, my hand, and I'm just trying to be nice, and I try and take the space out from here. What I do is, this is a part that a lot of people put their head down, they try and squeeze now, which is more of a neck crank. The way I like to do it is, I like to go like this. Can you feel the difference on that? Where if I'm here and I squeeze, I'll go like, it's more on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Where if I go wide, ear down, and I start to walk, so head down low, take the space out, post, toes, here. What this does, yeah, okay there?
Yep.
It enables me once I'm here, to come up and knee slice it. So that enables a really nice transition. So instead of trying to put the pressure down or up, I'm trying to put the pressure sideways to the neck. So I want to have pressure. I'm going to go through the analogy. So stay there. So I've taken the space out and the arms over the body. So all I need to do is put pressure here to choke my partner. But by pulling up, the pressure's onto the back of the neck. So that hence the neck crank. What I do is, and I'm going to do this really light, is I use my head. So see her arms over her face? So I use my head to drive her backwards. I now put my ear and this little space here, and I'm flat, but I'm looking away. And I'm not holding this tight at all. So there's zero effort in this. What I see is a lot of people when they're doing the choke is they're here and they grab. Once you've grabbed this tiny little breathing space that people can turn into. And now like it's a bit of a fight. Where if I go here and I turn the head and I simply walk, so I'm going to flex my massive bicep and the choke comes on. So swap over guys, top to bottom. So Emma's on the side. And we're in the position that we're here. So what we want to do is, if you think about it, is I'm going to purposely go and put my elbow over my jaw. So we need to take this out. So you put your head low and you walk your head towards me and you pull the arm in. Got it. You now hold my shoulder palm up and you go dead flat on the ground. Now slowly flex and slowly walk around. So you make sure that's the back of your head that's driving in. And again, back of the head, ear down. So if you're getting the neck crank, or if you're not getting the choke, the three major things, number one is this, you're too high. So walk back down to my hips. Number two, there's space here. So pull your arm in. Number three is this, we're walking around so that we're not trying to squeeze or lift my head up. In fact, we're trying to use our shoulder to drive my head down. Right? So at no stage do I lift the head. At no stage do I try to drive through the shoulder. So if I feel I'm losing it, I will actually physically go dead flat and back out. So as I turn, you're under me, and now slowly reset, grip, walk, and redo it. And there's nothing wrong with like 2 or 3 attempts at this. What I find when I do my chokes is if the person's good at defending the head arm choke. I'll play a little bit of a game where just like the boa constrictor. What I tend to do is I tend to sit on the choke, and if I've got time, and I just slow squeeze, move, slow squeeze, move, slow squeeze, and it's not a race. It's just nice and slow. Because I understand that they're in a position that's uncomfortable, and even if they can't, even if I'm not choking them, they're sooner or later they're going to do something to try and get out, and that's when once they move, I try and capitalise on their motions or their movement to try and cinch the choke better. So let me just rehash this again. I'm just going to grab Emma onto the side control. So we have that. So my arm's high. So number one is the space here has to go. So instead of trying to pull your arm in, you drive your head and walk your legs right. So that turns me. You can now put your head underneath my armpit. So notice I said armpit, not shoulder. Yes. Close the space up by now. Instead of driving forward, walk north-south. And again. So we're here, their arms high. So what we do is we take the space out, number one. The way we do that is we drive into my partner, drive in first, drive in, and so that all your weight is driving onto your elbow, it's taking the space out. Number two, slide backwards, put your head under my armpit, and turn away from me. Okay, slowly walk to north-south. Beautiful. So you should be able to complete this head arm choke just with one arm. It's not a strength move. The way I like to do this, I'm just going to show you guys really quickly a variation that I like to do from half guard. And Emma's on top in half guard.
Not yet, buddy, soon.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand over and I'll put my hand onto the hip. And I'm going to bait my partner a little bit. So I start to hip escape out, I'll put my head low. Put my head up. Cut. Once again, take the space out by pulling the arms. Re-cinch. And all I'm doing now is I'm pulling my elbows down to a hip. I'm not squeezing in. So elbows down. I'm not pulling here. So I'm pulling, I'm going that way. I'm not going that way. Right, if I go this way, yeah, wherever I go. So again, half guard, and I've tried to block the guard pass out, my hands onto the bad side. So I go hip escape and guard. As the hand comes over, I lift my head and I hold. I prefer, this is weak, that's strong. So if everyone tries to lift their head out, move, cinch, tie up, pull elbows in. So it's just one of my favourite little moves I like to do. From underneath half guard, it's a sneaky one. I do that quite a bit when people on the side and they're upgrading to mount. I catch the half guard to do the head arm choke from there as well. Okay, guys. Thanks very much. We're going to come back in and have a look at some gear stuff tonight at 6 p.m. for the adults and 4 p.m. for the kids. Cool. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
See you, Asma.